you want to be a winner, not only have to understand how to win, but to understand how to consistently win.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
That's our brand of football. If you want to be a winner, not only have to understand how to win, but to understand how to consistently win.
We're the freaking New York Jets, so we're built for this shit.
That's our brand of football.
Good evening, Jets fans. As you can tell, my voice, my chest, still a little hoarse. Been down for the count all week, but I'm back here to talk New York Jet football with you. Very eventful week for our New York Jets. Just the last couple hours, we've had some changes. We're going to get into all that. I'll be joined by my good friend, the Buffalo Jet fan. We will discuss all things New York Jets. We will get caught up to speed. We'll do all that fun stuff that we do here. But ladies and gentlemen, there's a snowstorm hitting the Northeast, the Mid-Atlantic, the South, the Southeast. There's a storm hitting everywhere. Turn it up. Let's get some Blitz BK going, and we'll get this party started.
It's got me.
Gentry covered in football!
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his prime, it's Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, to get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky.
Who, me?
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show.
Fantastic. Fantastic. You know what else is fantastic? My guest. He has my favorite X account to follow. Whenever he comes out with something, it's a gem. He put together a very long, detailed tweet. Yes, I'm still going to call them tweets. I'm old school. I don't know what you guys call them, you young bucks. But it was a tremendous read about his top 16 rankings for the Jets draft picks. Let's bring him in right now. We got the Buffalo Jet fan. What's up, brother?
Nick Shine, what's up, man? Thanks for having me on.
Thanks for joining, man. How you been?
Good. Are you getting the what you city folk call a winter storm? That's just a Tuesday for me.
Excuse me, sir. I am suburban New Jersey, not city folk. I am township resident. We are anywhere from 8 to 12. That's what we're getting here in the heart of Central Jersey. And yes, Central Jersey is a thing. And
So that's a debate. Some people don't think Central Jersey is a thing. I don't.
Oh, that's because they either live down south and they look at everything as the north, or they live up north and look as everything as the south. But if you're in it,
Middle.
you know you're in it. It's a culture, it's a territory, it's a region. We know that it exists. And if you try to say you're part of it, it's like an unwritten rule. We know who's in and we know who's not. But yeah, we're getting ready to get hit. The truck's backed up in the driveway. I got the garbage cans off the side of the house so I could roll those out when we need to. And windshield wipers are up.
There you go.
New washer fluid purchased. We're ready to rock, baby. All the
go.
important things. Check. How are you doing up there? I know Buffalo has some crazy storms. You get those squalls that come off the lake, and all of a sudden there's 72 inches of snow in like 2 hours, and then you snow blow 30 driveways that disappear for 5 days.
Yeah, I'm not doing that this winter, thankfully. But now it's honestly not that different from most of the state, like 90% of the winter. But I used to live in, well, actually, there's no central Buffalo, but I used to live in North Buffalo, and we would get like nothing. But yeah, now where I'm in now in the South Towns, probably about twice a year I'll get like 3.5 feet on my house. So that's something you got to deal with. But besides that, normal winter stuff.
You sent some
When,
pictures throughout the several winters that we've been friends that have just been mind-boggling. When you got that squall, right? That's what
yeah,
it's called, a squall when it came off the lake.
yeah, the lake effect. Yeah, it's bad.
Oh, I love that stuff. I absolutely love the snow and everything that comes with it. I do. I like making snowballs and throwing them at unsuspecting people, like everything. I'm a big fan of it all.
Do you think
And
Wink Martindale is a big fan of the snow?
oh, all right, let's get into it. First off, we got Jack with a super chat. Thank you, Jack. Gentlemen, how are you both? I needed this tonight. I'm big mad at the worthless beat. Western North Carolina is freaking out because it's icing a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, first off, thank you for the super chat. Before we get into all the rest, we're going to cover this. Good luck down there. I know a little bit of ice hits down there, and they're not structured for that down in the South. So be careful. Uh, hit the like button. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thank you to everyone that helped get over 2,000. It's been a week since I did a show, man. I've been on the DL. I had the upper respiratory infection all week, so I'm going back through my checklist of things. Super chats, gifted memberships, $5 and up on the super chats. Get you on the wheel. We'll be doing a Joe Namath giveaway, Super Bowl Sunday. Get in. And since I haven't done a show in a week, yes, we're going to double everything tonight. So Jack that just got you 2 entries. Thank you. And thank you to everyone who will and who has participated. Now, you brought up Wink. Are you as disappointed in this whole? All right, let's just start from the beginning. Let's catch up.
Yeah.
Aaron Glenn keeps his job.
Right.
Wilkes is gone. Then there's 3 weeks. London still has a job after 3 weeks. Dude, we're Championship Sunday. The season ended 3 weeks ago.
Yeah.
It ended 19 days ago, and then they start firing people. I don't get the maneuvering. I don't get it. Now you're fighting for people. You're going to get bottom of the barrel hires. Like you want to strike quick and go offer people jobs, thinking they might not get other offers. And now you look like a lame duck coach. I'm going to bring up everybody that they just got rid of. This is a lot. I mean, there's good coaches getting hired. There's good staffs getting put together. And you have Aaron Glenn that a lot of people might view as a lame duck coach without a quarterback. You hire Wilkes, you fire him. You hire Engstrand. Now you're keeping him on the roster and demoting him, which is odd in its own.
Mm-hmm.
Now you're going to pay him as offensive coordinator and then bring in another offensive coordinator. And you're not going to be able to get anybody of name or note. This is head scratching, man. You're pretty level headed like me, but you'll call out stupid shit when you see it. Tell me, what do you make of all this?
I mean, it definitely doesn't. It's something that inspires confidence a ton right now. I mean, just to be honest. Now we'll see what the final staff looks like. There's a chance that Glenn pulls a rabbit out of his hat, and it's something that we're excited about. In terms of the timing of it, I mean, did they kind of know, but then it was just like then HR got around to collecting their key fobs later, or did they actually, like, did Aaron Glenn go to Cabo and then come back and then fire these people? That stuff we'll never know. But the Giants did something similar where they started, getting rid of people. But that was with a coaching change. Yeah, it's hard to, like, I don't know if there is an example. We'll have to, maybe someone could look it up. But is there an example of a coach who, won 3 games, fired, basically changed the defensive coordinator and the offensive coordinator? I think when that's your starting point, it's very low percentage that coach ends up being the guy who turns around a franchise that needs like a special human to turn it around. So yeah. I think if you're just looking from like objective, if you were a fan of like the Cardinals or something and you were looking at the Jets, you'd probably be like, Yeah, they're probably going to have a new coach next year and just a new GM by proxy of being tethered to the coach. So not ideal. The Engstrand thing came out of left field. I think that, all the defensive guys being fired, it's like, yeah, well, the new defensive coordinator is going to pick his staff. So I think it was reported as like, oh, they fired these 8 guys. It's like, yeah, the whole defensive staff is getting fired. Clearly, Engstrand is weird, and also for him, it's like, eh, just to be like the Nate Hackett thing, where now you're like your little cousin who you unplug their controller so they feel like they're playing in the video game like they did to Hackett. That's a weird situation. I didn't come away from the season feeling like Tanner Engstrand held the offense back that was playing, never played a top 20 quarterback. That's the weirdest one to me, is the Engstrand demotion. And we'll see how it shakes out. There's always this thing with the Jets where they feel like their coaches need coaches. It's so for every year, it's like, oh, they need some offensive, a veteran, a guy with gray hair. What's his name? No, don't get hung up on the details. They need a guy with gray hair who's called plays, who's been there, who's done that. Well, wouldn't he want to be the OC? No, don't worry about it. We're gonna get a guy with gray hair, and he's gonna teach the OC how to. It's like, well, you don't have a fucking coordinator then. Like,
and what's the sign going to be? The Forum Park Leering Center? Like, what are we going to do over here? Like, what is the whole purpose of that? If you're going to demote the guy, fire him. I've never heard of a first-year coordinator losing his job and staying there.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to pay him as a starting offensive coordinator still because he's got his contract. Like, it doesn't make any sense. I feel, listen, I don't want to go over the top reactive, right? I've taken a day to think about this. It really has the vibe of Aaron Glenn just proving again that he's really in over his head. Every guy that you fired, you're now getting, and now Chris Harris, who was the head of the secondary, that didn't have any interceptions an entire season, is retained. You had the worst secondary in the history of the NFL, and you keep your job?
He's a rising star, according to Albert Breer.
How are you a rising star? You put together the worst secondary performance in the history of the league. Eric Washington, D-line coach. Okay. Curry, linebacker coach. Sherwood and Quincy regress. They both look horrible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. For Harris to retain his job while Dre Bly, the assistant secondary coach, gets fired? Make it make sense, dude, because I can't make sense of this.
Yeah, it's weird to, again, I understand the people who say, I truly get it, and I know this is like a dead topic in terms of whether or not Glenn should have kept his job. So I understand people don't want us to belabor that, but I think it's, there's new news that's bringing it to light where it's like, man, if you're gonna fire all these people, like maybe just start fresh. And I get it. People asked them to tank, they tanked. We knew they weren't going to be a great team this year, but I gotta be honest, just from a fan perspective, if they started with a new coaching staff and hired, even if it was some uninspiring, like Brian Flores gets a second shot, because I know it wouldn't be Harbaugh, it wouldn't be McDermott, I understand that, but even if it was like, oh, Brian Flores gets a second shot, or this Grant Udunskini guy who's like assistant to the assistant play caller at some team, they wouldn't get the hotshot OC, they wouldn't get the guys with pedigree like Harbaugh or Tomlin. But I think if they started over with a guy like Flores or a guy like that, anyone who calls offense and once shook hands with Sean McVay, would I feel slightly more optimistic about this upcoming season and the next one? Probably, to be honest.
Kels, I thought this was about forgetting the past and going forward. Yes, and then 4 hours after I created the show yesterday, all the firings happened. So a little bit of a curveball got thrown our way, and we adjust, we adapt.
We could
do
talk
that
future
better
now,
than the Jets do. So we're
Yeah.
trying our best here, Kel. We got thrown a curveball, and we're not going to sit here and take a pitch. We're going to hit it. But thank you for watching. Now, this is really stupid territory we're in. And you know me, dude. You know that I don't get like this. But now you're firing Wilkes, Washington, Curry, London, Turner. But now you're going to bring in those replacements. And you could be dealing with a lame duck head coach, which means this entire staff, minus Banjo, could be getting fired in 12 months You could be paying 2 sets of coaches to not be here on top of the new head coach bringing in his staff. So, I mean, Woody Johnson's really, really got to believe in Aaron Glenn. And I think that making these moves tells me, and fans might not want to hear this, but I'll say it again. I think Glenn and Muji are locked into a minimum 3 years. You're not going to have your quarterback in year 2. It's going to be about building it. And then in year 3, that's when we take the leap. So I think that if you are someone who wants Glenn fired, you're going to have to be really patient because I don't think it's going to happen, even if year 2 is worse than year 1.
Yeah, there's no way to know what's in Woody Johnson's mind, and even if we did, it could change because I bet you Woody Johnson wasn't. If you would have asked Woody Johnson at the beginning of the 2024 season, if the Jets get off to a 2-3 start, are you going to fire Robert Saleh? He probably would have said no, but he did. So
Yeah.
we'll see how it goes, man. But yeah, it's a dangerous question to ask. But I don't know how it could quite get worse next year, just because the talent has to be better, and I don't think they'll be playing, the worst quarterback they can possibly find. But we'll see how it goes. Hopefully, honestly, hopefully Glenn just completely turns it around and they're like a 500-ish team, or they just completely suck again and we have a top 2 pick. Obviously, would be, the worst outcome is like they win 5 games, 6 games, and are picking 7th. So,
all right. Now, if you saw the thumbnail, it's the 2 of us as the men in green hitting the flashlight and erasing everyone's mind. We're going to do that right now. We're going to boom, boom. We hit it. Now, your tweet the other day, which is just a spectacular read. I shared it in my Discord for everybody. When you put together these long articles I call it an article, right? Because I'm going to sit there and take a few minutes to read it and go through it. It's a Twitter article. If you haven't already, go check it out. It's in my Discord. Also, you can go to his Buffalo Jet page, X page, and he rated his top 16 picks. Now, I could pull it up, or if you have it with you, and some of the what's your scenarios for the Jets, right? Like when you're looking at the Jets and you're looking at the number 2 pick, and we're all operating under the ideology that Mendoza goes to Vegas, right?
yes.
Who's your number 1? Give everyone your number 1.
Right now, for me, it would be Bane. And I think that there's probably a tier of like 6 players that I'd be like, okay, cool. Because you have to keep you can't set yourself up.
There's not a clear cut, right?
Right. No, and that's the bummer because you would love there to be like it sucks that finally
a Will Anderson, a Von Miller, a Myles Garrett. Like you would love that elite positional player.
What would be even better, Nick, is now that we finally have our tackles squared away, I'd love a Joe Alt. I'd love for the Cardinals staff to give us a 2nd round pick to come up one spot and secure their tackle, but it's finally a trash tackle class and we have that squared away, so no one's trade up for that. But Ruben Bain would be my number 1.
Is trash.
I wouldn't say he's trash. I don't think anybody would trade up for him.
So Arizona could just sit and pick. They don't have to worry about anyone jumping them.
No, I don't think they're sweating it.
Okay.
Yeah, Ruben Bain would be my number 1 because I think Bain brings a floor and immediate impact. And I think that I'm very confident he's going to be a good run defender on the edge. Very confident he'll be a good pass rusher from the interior. The only question remains, will his stubby arms and lack of like elite agility, although he moves good for a guy who plays at 270, lack of elite agility, will that prohibit him from like winning on an island the way that guys like David Bailey do? But yeah, man, I love Bain's going to be that guy that's going to practice like a UDFA in week 1. Like you're not going to be able to tell he's the number 2 overall pick. He's kind of an all ball, no BS. He looks like he's from 1985. He doesn't even have time to get like his hair faded up nice. Like he just rolls out there and plays football. So I love Ruben Bain. I think he could, whatever, if you're 4-3, if you're 3-4, whatever you need, he's just like a WD-40 across your defensive line.
I agree with both, right? With Bain and Bailey. But the more I'm hearing about Wink Martindale, who might be snowed in with the Jets for a couple of days here now, where there's smoke, there's fire. And when you've been interviewing virtually, and then you go do that in person. And to any of our knowledge, this is the first in-person interview that they're doing for the defensive coordinator, right? I believe they've been virtual. There could be a deal that gets done.
Yeah, I
And
mean, I think by Monday he could be the DC. I wouldn't be
yeah,
surprised.
and you know what that screams to me? If it's Wink, that
Reese.
screams Arvell Reese.
Yeah.
That screams that off ball, that edge. I can move him around. I can blitz because Wink loves bringing pressure. You know, in several of his years as defensive coordinator, they were top 5 in blitz pressure rate. And
Okay.
that just screams to me he wants a guy that he can move around and a guy that he can bring from different levels of the defense. And that's just a guy that I think Wink Martindale will love. Now, don't get me wrong. You know me. You know me well. You know that I want a physical, dominant, oversized defensive front. I love Bain. I love Bain, and I love moving Will McDonald into a pass rushing specialist. Maybe McDonald can be that Arvell Reese type that you move around in different positions, right? Sometimes you put his hand in the grass and just let him go. Other times you make shift him around to create the advantage for us. I don't know, man. I'm having a really, really hard time, number one, accepting Wink Martindale because you were just in New York. You were arguing with your head coach. That's what got you fired. And now you're going in with a stronger personality with Aaron Glenn, who's going to have his ass on the hot seat to begin with. Without a quarterback, it's going to be a lot of pressing. There's going to be a lot of tension. There's going to be a lot of the old Buddy Ryan with Wink of I know what I'm doing. Back the fuck off. You don't tell me. I'll run my defense. You didn't know what you were doing. Wink will push back and he will cross lines. So I would be surprised if Glenn. This is why I didn't think Aaron Glenn would ever take Rex Ryan for all the fans that were screaming Rex Ryan, because you don't bring in a bigger persona than the head coach. And you're doing that with Wink if you bring him in.
Yeah, and he's had a solid career. I mean, in 2019 through 2021, the Ravens were pretty much a top 3 to 5 defense each year. But we've seen with guys like, obviously Pete Carroll is an extreme example because he's like over 70, but sometimes the league just kind of passes you by and you're done. And what's what happened with Wilkes. So the last year with the Giants was pretty tough. And
Dylan and Boss Girl, thank you.
Yeah, so not the most inspiring hire. I get it, because Glenn also doesn't want to bet on a first timer. I think if you could go back and do it, you'd almost rather hire the green guy first and just say, you sink or swim for a year. I'm hands off. At the end of the year, if you aren't cutting it, then I'll move on and I'm going to go to a veteran who I know can be steady, and I can just keep doing my CEO stuff. But I think following up Wilkes with Martindale feels a little bit like changing your shirt because you crapped your pants,
Also, I have a new shirt on tonight. Very good segue. Now, here's the key part. We lived through the Rex Ryan years. Most of us, some in the chat are very young. Some were rooting for other teams at the time. But when you have a blitzing front, you need to play really good man press coverage on the back end, right? Because you can give up the quick slants. You can give up a lot of passes. Do we have the secondary to run that scheme? Does AZ, Thomas, Stevens, and Brownlee? Now, Brownlee's physical, but Brownlee's not the quickest. He can get beat. If you're blitzing from the middle, I would just slant on Brownlee all day. Brownlee's strength is getting physical with you on the perimeter, roughing you up. But if you're who's the guy in New England, the slot, who just caught the touchdown on fourth down the other day to start the game? Watson?
Wilson?
Help us out, Chad. I forget his name. But that's a speedster. And you got these guys in the slot that are speedsters, and Brownlee terrifies me going up against a speedster. So I don't think we have, and you're not going to turn around in 1 year. So I feel that this is just a recipe for disaster. And I don't know, man. And I'm never like that. I don't know. Help me out here. Give me reason to believe, Buffalo.
Well, I mean, I do like it's a very, very low bar. I do think that Wink would be an upgrade over Wilkes, because at least maybe Wink will bring 6 or 7 and at least maybe have a chance of hitting the quarterback, where Wilkes just brought the same 5-man blitz where it was just a waste of a coverage guy and it never got home. The Jets were they were, in terms of how often they blitzed and how often they got pressure and sacks, their blitzes were the least effective in the NFL. And I think a big part of that was like, dude, to me, you can't convince me that Sherwood and Quincy Williams are the two worst linebackers in the NFL. Like maybe Sherwood was a little bit overpaid. Quincy, maybe he was just more of a solid scheme fit. I get it. But if you look at a lot of analytics, like they were the two worst coverage backers in the NFL. And I just refuse to believe that's the case. It was the same play action that any competent OC ran on us over and over again. So maybe Martindale could at least mitigate that and have some Greg Williams, like, we're going to live by the blitz, die by the blitz. There's going to be some games where they give up 40, or there's going to be some games where they rattle some of the younger and more inexperienced quarterbacks on their depth chart, and they're able to win that way. And do they have the coverage personnel right now? No, but they do have, 11 picks and 100 million. So maybe that could change a little bit. So we will see.
Yeah. Demario Douglas, that was the speedster. He caught that slant in the
okay.
in the opening. He also hit a big drag play on us earlier in the season on the Thursday night game up there. Carlos with the super chat says, besides Wink Martindale be considered for DC, who is being considered by AG and the team for the offensive coordinator position? No names have popped up yet. And one thing that I kind of like that the Jets have done, and you got to dig really deep to say a sentence like that, it's been very quiet. There's no leaks in the building. They're conducting interviews. They're moving in silence. That's the biggest positive I have. Help me out if you got one that can top that. But Angstrand's role is not defined yet, and I think that it will be defined by the new offensive coordinator. But I don't get why you get rid of Turner, your passing game coordinator, and not the offensive coordinator. Like if you're gonna wipe the slate clean, wipe it clean, right? Why are we half-assing it at this point? Why are we doing these baby bullshit moves 20 days into the offseason?
Yeah, I don't know, man. They're and people expected, is it Woody? Because I know Woody had MLF canned, but I don't know. The Angstrom thing just feels a little random. I mean, who knows? I mean, obviously he was passed up for a promotion in Detroit, and unlike MLF, it doesn't seem like he has any interest elsewhere where he could go and still be calling plays. So he's just kind of taking the job that they're going to offer him, as it seems. In terms of reasons for positivity, I guess it would just be the resources that they have, because I think I would definitely be in a worse spot if they kept Sauce and Quinnen. I'm not going to pretend that those guys are trash now because they're not on the Jets, but if they kept Sauce and Quinnen and they didn't have the picks, I think it would be worse, to be honest. Like I like that they do have
guys who peaked and have played at their best, and you don't have anything to build on going forward. You had it. Right. Shout out to Adirondack Fly Guy, gifted a membership that went to Nate Jets. So thank you, Adirondack. Appreciate it. For those of you watching, we got a good surge here in the chat. We got 85 of you in here. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and we have a Super Bowl raffle going on with a Joe Namath item being raffled off on Super Bowl Sunday. That morning, I'll do a show. So I haven't done a show in a week. I was sick, upper respiratory infection. So to make up for it, all raffle entries tonight are doubled. So Adirondack got 2 entries, and Carlos and Jack got 2 also for their $5 super chats. Make sure you get in it, folks. It's going to be a nice little prize to win. And who else could you give away on Super Bowl Sunday? Oh, what are we going to do? You got to give away Joe Namath, right? All right.
Good choice.
Let's rewind. Back to the draft. Because with all of this capital that we have, you mentioned Bailey, you mentioned Bain. Okay. Let's pick Bain for argument. Now, when you're looking at 16, are you someone that's like me? Like I want to build a dominant front seven. Like I just want to get badass, physical. I don't want to have the ball run down our throat anymore. I want to be able to get to the quarterback. I want to be able to throw offensive linemen off us and get to these tosses and stunts and just beat the shit out of the offensive line. Something we haven't done in a very long time. We've had a guy do it here and there, but the Jets haven't had a very physical front. We've been smaller under Saleh. We've been finesse. We've been pass rushers. I have a dream of what my top 3 picks would look like, but I'm gonna defer to you, sir. At 16 now, what's your best case scenario for the Jets at 16 if we get Bain first?
So I don't know how realistic it is, but I would say one of Carnell Tate or Mekhi Lemon, more likely Mekhi Lemon falling there. I think the best outcome for the first 2 picks would be a game wrecking front 7 defender and a guy who can come in and be a 1A like secondary number 1 receiver with Garrett Wilson. Now, if they can't do that, the second best thing would be, dude, to me, if it's really at 16, if either Mekhi Lemon or Sonny Styles are there, just run the card up to the podium, because Sonny Styles, and I know it's not a off-ball linebacker, is not the most premium position, but at this draft, like, look at who's going to be there at pick 16. Is like, am I going to take, again, Keldrick Falk? Am I going to take the 4th receiver over or like a guard maybe, or am I going to take a guy who I know can bring me what Devin Lloyd is brought to the middle of the Jacksonville Jaguars defense last year? Had gross linebacker play last year, had small linebacker play. He comes in and he helps your defense in every phase. So at 16, to me, Mekhi Lemon or Sonny Styles, if one of those guys are there, it's no consideration. That would be my preference.
Yeah, if we go Bain, I would love Styles. I would move Sherwood to off ball, and I would let Styles be my Mike and be in the middle of my defense for many years to come. I would let Sherwood just go back to not thinking and not trying, because I think he really struggles when it's reading, recognition, getting everyone lined up. We're late with our calls and our adjustments.
Yeah.
So if I move Sherwood to off ball, where it's you follow running back, you follow tight end, I'll get everyone else aligned, I think you're going to see much more efficient and elite production out of Sherwood. Not chasing guys 12 yards downfield and making a tackle, but being the aggressor, because he doesn't have to think. He can play ball and attack. So my dream right now is Bain and Styles. If we go Reese, I hope Falk falls, because Falk is that defensive end that I would absolutely fall in love with. That big, that physical, like a Sean Ellis type, right? He's not the fastest guy, but he will do everything to seal the edge. He will power rush. He's got a good first step, and he slows down a little bit after that. Connor Rogers did a really good video, him and Trevor, about ranking their top 10 defensive ends and broke him down really nicely. It's a good watch if you guys come across it. I shared that in the Discord as well, but check that video out with them on, I believe it was Badlands that did it. But so, all right, we have that scenario there. We get to 33, day 2. I love this pick because you're taking phone calls from probably every team in the NFL, and you can maneuver them against one another, and you can keep saying, no, not good enough. No, not good enough. No, not good enough. And you can get a haul, and people will overpay for that first pick. It's if you don't jump back into the back end of round 1. But who is a guy that you're looking at right now on all the research that you do, and you're saying, man, this would be a dream come true for the Jets if this guy falls out of round 1 and is sitting there at 33 for us?
Well, I think if you don't take Styles, I think getting CJ Allen would be a great consolation prize at linebacker. That's cool with me. And you're right. The trade opportunity is going to be great, because once the dust settles on the first round and teams kind of get their bearings, there's definitely going to be offers, because there's always that like, oh my gosh, I can't believe these guys made it out of round 1. But this, I mean, I'm not a huge fan of Caden McDonald at 16, but there was talk about McNeil, last year, same school, same position, going in the first round. He went right at the tail end of the first round. If he's there at 33, I'll take him at 33 and I'll put him in the middle I'll put him at nose tackle, and he's going to be like Travis Jones in the Ravens, where it's not sexy. He doesn't get a lot of sacks, but he's dominant and changes the physicality of your front. I think you need a little bit more pass rush if you're going 16, but at 33, if he's there, I'm good. If Vega Ione is there, the guard from Penn State, who could be a plug and play guard, like, I mean, hell yeah, I'll take that. So those would be a couple like the receivers. It's so hard to know. I'm higher on Jeremy Bernard from Alabama than most. Maybe 33 would be a little rich for him, but if there's a run on
Okay.
receivers and guys like Concepcion are gone, I consider that. So yeah, those will be a few for me.
Going with that dominant front that I really want. Am I crazy to think that Caleb Banks would be a perfect D tackle? He sat out most of the year with Florida. He's physical, he's dominant, he's 6'6", 330. He throws people around and he can explode off the ball. He on film, he looks like a bigger, more powerful version of Quinnen, which is a nice upgrade. If you're going to go and get a defensive tackle, go get a bigger, badder dude. Because I felt Quinnen against bigger, stronger guards would get neutralized a lot and he would disappear in the game plan. I don't think you can make a guy like Banks disappear, but we can make the Buffalo Jet fan disappear. Hopefully he'll pop back in a minute. Maybe my takes were too strong. Leany, thank you, sweetheart. Congratulations on your prize. Uh, Surf City gave it to you. Pause. I don't mean it like that. The Rex Ryan football that you posted in the Discord earlier. Congratulations. And your gifted membership went to J5858. Jack. Thank you, Leany. You're in the raffle with 2 entries. Maybe you can add a nice Joe Namath item next to Rex Ryan. That would be a nice little deal to have. Good luck to you, Leany, and good luck to everybody. Now, folks, there's a lot going on with the Jets, right? I said this a few weeks ago. There's going to be more questions than there are answers. First, we just had to get Wilkes' replacement. Then we were going to, okay, who does the new defensive coordinator want to keep? Now you're looking at it, and there are a ton of moves that we have to make just to fill out the coaching staff. You got to get your DC. You got to get a defensive line coach. You got to get a linebackers coach. Harris might get pissed off that he wasn't chosen for defensive coordinator. Might not want to work under the new guy. You might have to replace that guy. Drake Bly is gone. Offensively, Charles London, Scott Turner, your offensive coordinator, Tanner Engstrand, maybe getting demoted. You're basically putting an entirely new coaching staff together 12 months after you said to ownership, these are the guys I want to bring in. These are the guys that are going to help me do the job. These are the people that I believe in. And every single one of them, minus Banjo, fell flat on their face. That's a really, really tough sell to the fan base. A fan base where I think more than 50% of the fan base wanted the head coach fired. Now you're firing everybody but you. You brought all these people in. You interviewed them. You went to bat for them. How? I don't understand it. And I know Kel said earlier it's supposed to be about moving on and forgetting the past, but when news like this drops that you're firing half of your coaching staff, it really, really boggles my mind that Aaron Glenn is still here. Because at this point now, it's like, why do we have you if everyone you hired is a failure? You can look at it multiple ways. You can look at it and say, oh, they didn't have a quarterback. There's some of the excuses on offense. Okay. All right. Steve Wilkes. All right. He got fired. But now you're going to fire everyone else that was affiliated with Steve Wilkes. I don't understand. I don't. I try to find logic and reason and rationale in everything with this team. Some of you give me a ton of shit, Clancy, for when I do it. But how can you look at this and say that like the Jets are going in the right direction? This to me is the opposite of what I said on Jake's show a week and a half ago. Rock bottom is when you finally stop digging. We're handing out shovels and saying, let's make this hole deeper. Thank you, Envelope. Sometimes you need a little bit of levity. Thank you for that moment. I appreciate it. A shout out to you guys here. Appreciate you here watching the channel. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. Looking to see if haven't heard from Buffalo Jet fan. Hope everything's all right on his end. Greg Rollo bringing a little levity to the situation. Well, Greg, I hope that with the storm hitting in the Northeast. Oh wait, you're in another country, I believe, Greg. So this won't pertain to you. But folks, until the Buffalo Jet fan rejoins us, hopefully he does. Hopefully everything's all right up there in Western New York. We'll take some calls. Give me your takes. Give me your thoughts. I know Alan's in the chat. Haven't heard his voice in a week. Again, $5 super chats and up, gifted memberships, get you on the wheel. Since I did not do a show for a week, raffle entries are double tonight, folks. If you have questions in the chat, I'll be scanning for your questions. I know we were talking before and I may have missed some of them. David D, my guess is the Jets have been reaching out to external coaching options well before today. Agree. And David, here's the thing. The Jets can keep their business private, but we know agents. Agents will leak information like that. Agents will get, hey, there's interest in my guy out there. It's very, very curious to me that the Jets would make these moves and there's no stories being leaked. First up, our first caller this evening, straight out of Philly or Carolina, wherever you are. How are you, sir?
How you doing, man? Missed you. It's
I'm all right,
been a while.
I'm feeling
Dude.
better. A lot of antibiotics, NyQuil, Dayquil, Clariseptic for the throat.
Ooh, I hate that
It
stuff.
was a rough week, man. It was a rough week.
Isn't it the worst when you hit the throat stuff? It's like it'll numb it, and then it's like and then it feels heavy, and then you're like, come on, man, and it tastes like shit.
It's when you lower the turkey in the deep fryer and you get that sizzle, and then it kind of settles. You get that initial burn, you get that reaction, and then it kind of dissipates very quickly.
If I can tell you, you have some hell of a timing though to get sick, and then boom, tough acting fucking news. You know what I mean? This is some shit. This is some shit for sure, bro.
It's wild. This is some next level Jet stuff. It's like, all right, Buffalo's getting laughed at. No. Hold my coffee. Watch what we do.
Dude, I mean, I feel. I mean, I've probably been in I've been on Jake's, was on BG's with you now, with Addy. I mean, honestly, I think the best case scenario for the Jets, like as the Jets as a scenario, is that Jim Leonard is hired, because I feel with his assistant coaching position, him basically set to take over Wisconsin, but then they just took a crap on him. The guy can run a football team. I think he's ready probably to run a football team. And if he runs the Jets, he'd be able to bring people with him, maybe like-mindedness, bring some athletes with him that he's had. And I think I only say this because I think the precursor is Glenn has to have a fantastic year to not be fired. And with what he's done, he's ostracizing himself in front of the NFL. It's a gauntlet right now. Like, to get hired by the guy who's only coached for a year and it was pure shit, he's gonna fire you. Like, that's disturbing, right? That's disturbing. So if you're Leonard, you go in there, you look at Moogie, it's like the back deal handshake. You know what I mean? He was like, "Come on, I got you, bro. Don't worry about it. Next year, you know what's gonna happen here. I'll move you up. We'll do whatever you need. We'll do what we got to do. The connection's there. That's one route. Or I think Durante Jones, to me, would be a route where Flores, no matter how shitty he's had his, people talk behind his back, if the guy's a good head coach, who gives a shit if he can get it done, right? So, or Tomlin, right? If Durante Jones is there, I think Tomlin would be like, that guy's good. I'm going to keep him there. You know what I mean? So that's where I'm at mentally. What they do with Engstrand is very, very odd now, because now he got demoted again by a guy.
you're not gonna stay there if you're angry. Like, all right, man, let me go.
Oh,
I'll
God,
go
yeah,
join
bro.
Ben Johnson in Chicago, man. I'm good.
Honestly, you go back to you can go back right back to the Lions, and Campbell will be like, dude, just
Did you
coordinate,
see the
please.
tweet about the Steelers?
No. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah.
Steelers fired a head coach named Mike who hasn't been to the Super Bowl since 2011 to hire a head coach named Mike who hasn't been to the Super Bowl since 2011.
It's funny right now. All I know is two things are certain. The NFL is always going to be this weird crapshoot, and if the quarterback is in control of everything, Josh Allen got his coach fired. Tomlin was whatever. Harbaugh, Jackson got his coach fired. I mean, it is what it is, and it's nasty, and that's why these moves happening with the Jets are being. It's not that bad, right? Is it? Because Luka just got fired. You know, yeah. I don't know, dude. This shit is crazy, bro. Ugh.
I don't get it. I
Bad.
don't get it. And you
I
know me,
don't-
man. You can give me
Mhm.
any scenario presented with this team, and I will navigate my way to making it a positive, right? You'd be like, how the
Yeah.
fuck did Nick pull that out of a hat to twist that into a positive? And I'm sitting here, hands up. I don't know what to say. I don't know what to make of this. I thought Charles London should have been fired on Black Monday. I
Yeah.
thought he should have been gone then. I thought you should
Should've
have
been
made
fired
your
during the
moves
season.
immediately, and you should have entered the coaching search and offered positions to people before other
Yes.
teams had to hire the head coach and hire the coordinator and then start hiring the position and say to people, hey, we'd like to bring you in. We'd like to give you this position.
Nick,
Offers here on the table now. Take it or leave it.
Nick, tell me if this is not a. How could we not look at this now? It's a lateral move in one direction. Moogie, he like when you're like next to somebody, right? And you're like someone's either making fun of them at a party or someone smells, or you're like you start creeping off the
You hanging
line.
out with?
I'm saying
gotta
back in the
change your
day as a
crew.
kid. Back in the day as a kid,
Oh,
you hung
okay,
around
all
with
right.
crazy motherfuckers. You know what I mean? You didn't give a shit. You know what I mean? Or like, all right, you're at school and someone's getting in trouble and you're stepping away from your friend. You're like, oh, bro, I didn't do that this time. It's that moment. Moogie's like stepping aside, like, oh, well, you're doing what with the? Oh, I mean, that's not really my thing. I control contracts with players and players and players. Dude, I'm telling you, we see it coming. It is what it is. The writing's been on the wall. It's just absolutely fucking crazy right now. But I think Wink would be a patsy, right? Because this man will get a job whether hired by us or not. If he's fired by us, he will get a job because he is Wink. Like, people know what he brings, whether it's college rank, it doesn't matter. He will get a job. So if you bring him in, it's an easy step for anyone to move forward from. Meaning Glenn can move forward from him if somehow they do decently or it looks good on him. But you can move on from him even if you're the next regime or if Muji is still there and Woody fires Glenn. You know what I mean? So Wink could be a blessing in disguise, right or wrong, doesn't matter. Or Jim Leonard would be an absolute like, okay, we have, hope for the future, even if Glenn goes and the defense is turned around, or he just rides it out. You know what I mean? Something else happens. I don't know, but I don't even care. I can't even think about the draft right now because of what's going on with this. And yeah, I'm just I can't do it. I hope one thing is certain that Mendoza somehow falls because my $5 bet goes to $100 for Arvell Reese from 2 months ago as the number one pick. That's what I hope for. That's it. That's all I got, Nick. That's what I'm hoping for.
All right.
You get $100 in the
appreciate you
shitty
calling
season,
in.
please. You know what I mean?
Appreciate you calling in, man. And
Yes,
good
sir.
call. A lot of points.
Yes,
Who
sir.
thought the Jets would be this exciting? Not even in the
Right?
goddamn conference.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh,
We
wait.
suck.
Here's a positive. I got a positive for you. It's so cold in New Jersey that we are lucky the Jets are not having a home game on AFC Championship weekend.
Bro,
So there you
negative.
go, folks. There's the positive in the Jets being awful. We don't have to sit out in this cold tomorrow. Imagine
Man.
that, having a conference championship game, and they would have had to move the game.
Nick, hold on. You know how many people right now in the chat or anywhere would say, I would go for frostbite to see an AFC Championship game again?
They would have moved
Again,
it. If it was the Jets, anyone up in the
Lose
Northeast,
a
they would have had to
digit.
move this to yesterday.
Nah,
Or today.
they would-
I'm sorry. Forgive me. Today.
You'd lose a digit. You'd lose a tip of your pinky to see them in the AFC Championship game. Trust
Do you
me.
want to see my exclusive interview with Aaron Glenn this week? There's almost 90 of you in here right now, and I was lucky enough to interview Aaron Glenn in a one-on-one exclusive. Ladies and gentlemen, the world premiere of my interview with Aaron Glenn. Let me help you get down. You all right, Aaron?
Yeah,
You tried, right?
I tried.
You did your best, right? That's all that
I
matters.
did my best. We tried.
Maybe next year you come back and try
Maybe
again.
next year. I'll come back and I'll try it next year.
Yo,
Oh,
yo, thanks, man. I appreciate that. That's what we got. Love it, dude.
shout out to Gator.
Yes. Gator's a fucking legend, dude. Good shit, Nick. Keep it going, bro.
Yeah,
I'll talk to you later.
it's fun time.
Bro, that was
It's
good.
not AI. It's actually Greg.
No,
It's
that's what
actually
it's-
a video of Beetlejuice with his buddy Sean, who used to be like his caretaker. And Gator made it the other day for Jake, and then he sent it to me. He's like, this one hit the cutting room floor. I go, I'll take it, but we got to make the
gold.
guy me interviewing Aaron Glenn. He's like, I'm on it.
Bro, that's gold, man. All right, keep it going, bro.
All right, buddy. Be good. I just saw a comment I wanted to get to. Oh, I'm way behind in the chat. Sean's here says, Nick, I was one of your son's football coaches. Great kid. Go Jets. I believe he told me you're one of his coaches at Old Bridge. And he said, I told my coach to subscribe to your channel. So shout out to you, Sean. Appreciate it, man. Yeah, thank you. It's the best thing you could say about someone's kid is that they're a good, respectful kid. So thank you, man. I appreciate that. And thank you for subscribing to the channel. Jets Worldwide. Gator's a thief. Oh, no. Uh-oh. What did I start? Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, it's time.
That's it.
Bobby.
Hello, Nick Shine. How you doing?
Hello, Bobby. How you feeling, buddy?
I have to be on my phone. My old computer shit the bed.
I know. I
So
played
I'm
a
on
little
the
bit of
phone.
phone tag with you earlier this week. And if you're going to be up, I'll call you after the show.
Well, I hope you feel better.
Thank you. I little upper respiratory
What do you have
infection.
anyway?
I had an upper respiratory infection. I still have a little bit of it going
Ew,
on.
I
I'm
have
on
one of those.
antibiotics
Those are
until
nasty.
Tuesday.
Yeah, those are
it's been a rough
nasty
few days,
shit.
man.
My mother has the flu for a whole week so far.
Oh, no.
Yep.
Is she doing okay?
So, I'm doing good. I can't wait till I was supposed to have the doctor's appointment this Wednesday, right? But the people who shovel out there are lazy as shit. They can't shovel. So there was a big pile of snow where I was. I couldn't go through my shoe because it's not a good shoe to go through snow. So look at what's
It's
coming
not
up
an off-roader?
next.
It doesn't do off-roading? It's not all-terrain?
No, can't go in the snow, no. So, we're going to get this big snowstorm. Are you getting it?
Oh, yeah. That's what she said.
So are you doing overtime tomorrow?
Monday. We start 10 a.m. Monday.
Oh, okay.
Wait for the storm
Well,
to end.
these
School will
yeah.
be canceled Monday, and then they call us in. So big day of pay
Well,
on
these
Monday.
pe-
Looking forward to it.
Well, these people better do a good job at shoveling because I got to get to my appointment next Wednesday. Sue is not too happy. She is the property manager. She's not too happy with the people shovel.
Oh, no.
She's not. Yeah. My dad, well, at least I had the Bay Auto nurse come up. She wrapped me up Friday. So.
Sponge bath?
Yeah, no sponge bath, just the wrapping of the foot.
Damn.
Taking, it looks a lot better than it was. The doc even
No sponge
last week. What?
No
No,
sponge
that
bath?
was
Who
only
the
in,
fuck starts a conversation like that? I just sat down.
All right.
that's only in the hospital.
All right.
That was only in the hospital because
Can we get your takes real quick on the games this weekend? Who are you
Yeah, of
rooting
course
for?
he can.
Stinky head Patriots or stinky ass Broncos?
No, I'm going for the Broncos, then Seattle, then Seattle wins the Super Bowl.
Sam Darnold, baby, let's go. I'm
Yeah.
team NFC. Whoever wins between the Rams and the Seahawks, I hope wins.
I am. I'm always team NFC until I see the team that's in the AFC, and then I go. Especially if the Eagles are in it, I'll go against. I went for the Patriots against the Eagles. I
Okay.
went. I forgot who else. Kansas City. I hate the Eagles, so anything except the Eagles. If Dallas goes, then I'll take the Dallas over the AFC.
Ah,
I'm always NFC, but if the Jets make it to the Super Bowl, of course I cheer for the Jets.
see,
But the
now I know you're
Aaron
not feeling
Glenn,
well because you're talking delusional shit with the Jets making the Super Bowl. We know that's not possible.
no, I said if
I know.
the
I'm
Jets.
joking, Bob, saying we know that's not
Yeah.
possible ever.
Right. Well, it could be possible. Any year is possible. You remember that. So,
All right.
I'm so happy that the Giants signed John Harbaugh, and then they got Monken as the what do you call it? Offensive coach.
Yeah. Yeah. He'll put a good staff together. That's the benefit of getting a head coach who's been around for so long. You get
Yeah.
established, proven coaches to come with you. They want to be
Yeah.
a part of it. So, and it
Yeah.
gives them job security because they know someone like Harbaugh is not getting fired after year 1 or 2. They're going to give a guy like that time. So, it's a
Right.
good
No, he
opportunity for them.
does like Dart. He does like Dart. They're gonna go for Dart. And guess who the Giants might sign free agent?
Oh,
The guy from used to play Minnesota, Adam Thielen.
oh yeah.
Yeah, they might sign him. I heard. Yep,
Alright,
that
well,
was from YouTube. That wasn't from good old Facebook, which lies through the teeth. Yeah, I'm gonna be up. I slept good last night, so I'm up.
Good. All right. I'll give you a call after the
I'm
show. Okay,
watching all my stuff on my phone. I get the Hulu. I get my Peacock, and I get my Kodi TV on my phone. So
yeah,
that helps me out.
Clancy, who's a party pooper, says Thielen retired. He announced his retirement.
He did not, Clancy. Be quiet. Shut
He
up.
did. He announced his retirement when the season ended.
He did not.
He did.
Well, maybe I made a mistake, Clancy. We'll
Maybe
go back to.
you're such a powerful man, Mr. Midnight, that you can talk him out of retirement to come play for the Giants.
Well, I think Clancy always puts me down lately. Better be nice.
He didn't say anything about you. He gave you
I
breaking
got
news.
one thing about Gator. Gator is, I have a beef with Gator.
You have a beef with everybody. This is the longest you and I have talked without you having a beef with me. I think people are shocked in the chat right now.
I love you. You know that. I love you.
I love you too, buddy.
Oh,
I'll give you a call after the
bless
show,
you.
right? I'll text you first to make sure you're up. And if you're up, we'll talk.
Oh, I'll be up. Just call me. I said bless you.
Thank you. God bless you too. New York Jets super fan says Thielen retired also, so it's not just Clancy.
Okay, all right. Well, the YouTube channel was lying through the teeth. Who's next on the agenda?
I don't know. You gotta watch and find out.
Come on, just tell me who's in the back.
Hey,
take me off.
What's this problem?
Love you, Bobby. Hi, Beast. How's your evening?
From Roger, I'm going, what's this problem?
Hold on one second, sir. Shout out to Thunderlips. He's in the raffle with 4 entries. Nick, glad you're feeling better. You look great. Make me harder than Jeopardy. Wow. I'm a big Wheel of Fortune fan. I've solved 2 puzzles in my life on Wheel of Fortune with no letters on the screen. One was Henry Winkler as Arthur Fonzarelli. And the other one was Little House on the Prairie. Classic TV, and it had the 2 and the 3 in the middle, and I go, Little House on the Prairie. I just threw my hands up in the air, and my father's watching. He's like, there's no way. There's no way. And then as it came through.
Okay. What years were these? I gotta see that. I gotta see that.
Oh, my dad was still alive. This is going back to probably, I would say almost 20 years ago, late 2000s, maybe early 2000s.
No, I mean,
Back when the Jets were good, so very long time ago. Thunderlips, thank you for the super chat. Appreciate
I
you.
was a I did like Wheel of Fortune at a time or two when I did get a chance to see the one very old one. Chuck Woolery hosted Wheel of Fortune first. You know that? The great Chuck Woolery. He hosted Wheel of Fortune, but like
I didn't know that. I was too busy working, not watching the game show
I
all day.
understand. But what I'm starting to realize is if we get this Mendoza kid, this kid will turn our team into a power machine. Or
You're a
if
fan
we
of
wind up
Mendoza?
yes,
You know what? I'm happy to hear that because
I like that
there's
kid.
a lot of rumors out there about you not liking minorities. So this is a nice little twist.
6'5", this kid's got some speed. I like him. I like that. But you know, we also need guys with this muscle. We need guys with some muscles. I'm talking big boy muscles. Now, we need some big boys. I'm talking 290 pounds, maybe up to maybe 315. Get some of the 330-pound guys like the Nate Newton sizes, like shoving these boys down. Get down, get down dirty. But
hold on,
I'm not gonna talk to him right now.
Hold on. He's been the longest member of the channel at 22 months. He says that you're a turd burglar. Next caller, please. 22 months, Beast, is a very long time. Think of where you were 22 months ago.
Where was I 22 months ago? I was already on fire. I was already setting the world on fire while he was blowing his nose into
How many heavyweight titles did you have 22 months ago?
Let's see. I was sitting at 31, but now that I've already increased it to 4 more, and now we're ranking 35. Go take a look at those power numbers now. Those numbers are up there. See,
hurry up, real fast. Heads or tails?
Tails.
Shit, one button. Hi, Alan.
God, that guy gives me a headache. Jesus Christ. Good afternoon or good evening. I'm sorry. How are you feeling, by the way? You've been out for a week.
I'm better. I started getting bad runny nose Tuesday. Felt the pressure in my head. Wednesday I woke up. When you get the crusty eyes, your nose is all dried. It was hell. I go to the doctor. I couldn't take the deep breaths, and they put me out for a few days. So today's like the first day where I'm like sitting up and I can like move my head and not feel like awful and.
You got a foot of snow up there?
Not yet. It's supposed to start in the morning.
Yeah, it's very icy here. It's kind of weird being in Texas and there's ice everywhere.
Yeah, this storm stretches from Texas all the way up towards New Jersey. It's wild.
It affected 200 million people. That's crazy.
Wow. The last thing that I would want to be doing in this cold weather
is what?
Protesting. I digress. What's your thoughts, Alan? I could never hate anything enough to go outside for 2 hours.
They must be making a lot of money.
I love the Jets, but I would not go to the AFC Championship if it was tomorrow for -6 hours to be outside in this weather. No, thank you.
God bless. The idea that Aaron Glenn is allowed to do all this and keeps his job it's comical. It's comical.
Get it?
I
think he went the complete opposite of where he should have went, right? Like if you would have said, hey, we broke down the talent. We know we got to rebuild. We know we got to I believe in the guys. Okay. You would have made us believe that it was the talent. We would have been a little more patient. But now that this is tough to buy into, Alan. And you know me, you pick on me because how positive I am. And I'm sitting here saying, I can't buy into this. You can't have the bad talent and then say the coaches are bad too. Yeah. Say, I believe in my staff. I know what we're going to do. We're going to turn the ship. We got a better plan. We're going to reconvene. But now you're turning over everybody.
Yeah. By the way, Engstrand's not going to be on this staff come the fall. No. He's going to
he'll part ways. Depending on who they bring in, he'll step away.
Yeah, there'll be a buyout with his contract. There's no way he's coming. Get excited for Wink Martindale. And I read today Joe Judge is a candidate as OC. I almost fell on the floor when I saw that. But
oh, man.
They're going to get 2 retreads. They're going to get 2
I already got the Aaron Judge shirt. I could just chime and change it.
Because all I heard was, Jim Leonard has no interest in coming here. He'll be the next
Not this year
in Green Bay.
Jim Leonard will be here next year. with the new head coach that's a credible head coach when Woody stops going to the retreads.
What's worrisome
I mean, the
is
beginner's luck. Forgive me.
what's worrisome is if Glenn believes in his heart that he needs to win this year, I think they're going to spend recklessly. And I think they're going to draft people. They're going to draft the quarterback at 16. I think they're going to draft Simpson at 16. Now I do.
Come on.
I do. I
Come
really
on.
do. I hope I'm wrong. I really do. I wouldn't draft
I do too.
I
I do
hope
too. I can't. He's 23. He's inexperienced at 23.
Yeah.
He got worse as the season went on. As the film came out on him, he got worse. That's not a guy you draft.
again.
He
if I
does
was
some
him-
nice things, but we don't have the coaching to get a quarterback.
No.
If we had Sean Payton, I would say, okay, take him. I believe Sean Payton can make him a good player. If we had a Sean McVay, okay, take him.
Yeah.
You had a Shanahan or a LaFleur, okay, take him. I believe that you can put a structure together for this guy to succeed. Why? You have so
I
many holes
pray
in the
to
team.
God.
Just take immediate impact players.
I
Make
pray
the
to
best
God.
possible team.
I pray to God that McVay takes him at 13 and takes it out of our hands. I do. I don't think they will because I think he'd be perfect sitting behind Stafford for a year in LA. Do I think they'll take him at 13? No. I think there's a chance they would take him at 30. But yeah, Glenn is that dumb. Yeah, he is. I don't know who's going to take the
Very hard
job.
to look at the prospects and hearing the retread names of a Wink or a Joe Judge and getting excited.
Nagy, Greg Roman has been talked about.
I think
Yeah,
Nagy's slightly underrated. He went to the playoffs twice with Mitch Trubisky at quarterback. So I think Nagy, I don't think it's, as an offensive coordinator, I don't think it's the worst idea. But who the fuck's your quarterback? You're going to bring Trubisky back? You're going to run back the Bears with Nagy and Trubisky? What's your quarterback option?
You see, I don't think Glenn is going to hire a guy that he looks at as a threat for his job.
As a threat?
For his job.
Well, Wink might threaten him immediately.
He might, but I don't think he'll ever be a head coach. Okay.
No, I mean, physically threaten.
He might physically beat him up. I totally agree. But a guy like Nagy, who still has aspirations of being a head coach again, I just don't see him being the hire. I think he'll hire a guy who has experience, but is not a guy that you deem as a head coach candidate. Again, it is going to be as underwhelming a staff as you ever expected. Again, 2026 might make
pause right there. Pause right there. That says to me, you have, why are you dragging this on?
Again,
unless, again, it all comes back to this. If the sales pitch, we tried in the beginning of the season, we changed paths, right? Which I'm fine with. You traded Quinnen, you traded Sauce. I'm okay with that. You got more. We discussed it many times, right? I said, if you get a 2 and a 3 for Quinnen, I'll drive him to the airport. You got a 1 and a 2. Great return. Sauce, you got 2 1s and Mitchell. Okay, great return. For a guy who doesn't intercept the ball and make turnovers, great return for the corner.
Totally agree.
I love it. But now, you got to have the plan. And I believe the plan is, hey, we know this is going to take multiple years because we're not going to get the quarterback now. We tried to get the number 1. It didn't work. We're not going to waste a premium pick. We know we need talent on the defensive line. We know we need more playmakers. We know we need linebackers. We know we need safeties. We're going to build the best possible team.
I agree.
And then in 2027, we're going to go all in to get the quarterback because we're going to have more of our players in here. But I'm petrified about this coaching staff. I would, and I'll tell you right now, if it's Wink and Judge, I would rather run it back with Wilkes and Engstrand than Wink and Judge.
I would not be surprised if it's going to be. I think it's going to be Wink. I think Wink's going to get the job. I think Harris will be part of the staff.
Why else did you bring him in? You're bringing him in with his agent to do the paperwork and negotiate. Hey, there's going to be a snowstorm. Why don't you get your ass in here on Saturday? Yeah. We'll be together all day Sunday. We'll figure this out. We'll structure it. We'll hear your plan. We'll hear your pitch. We'll tell you where we are. And then when everything's said and done, if it comes together, we got all day Sunday night, and then we got Monday. We can announce it come Tuesday.
You will learn a lot about the structure within the organization in terms of Glenn and Muji by the way they attack free agency and the draft. If you think they're drafting guys like a Simpson, I worry that drafting Simpson means that Glenn, even if they win 5 games, will use that as an excuse to be back in 2027. If they build it correctly and build it.
Simpson. I can't take Simpson because we're going to be a top 5 draft pick. And I am
totally
not
agree.
missing out on
The
we might be
earliest
top
I
3
would-
again. If we
the
have Simpson
earliest I would
and
think-
Mariota, you're a top 3 pick.
The earliest I would think about taking a quarterback, earliest would be 44. And I don't even know if I would do that.
Not me. I need 4 impact players. I don't need a roll the dice. You want trade up from 103? You want to bump up into the 3rd round? Okay. I'll do that. I'll give up 5, a 6, a next year 5, whatever. I'll move up. I'll get into the 3rd round.
Here's a suggestion.
What?
Would you trade Jermaine or Will McDonald for pick 66 from the Titans?
If we draft Bain on day 1, yeah. I would be on the phones immediately offering
66
Will.
is the pick.
I would offer Will out if I got Bain.
That's the early
Why do you
3rd
need him?
rounder for the Titans.
Yeah, I would do that.
Yeah.
I would do that because then you
And
have
yeah.
Bain, you have Jermaine, you could still go get a Zion Young in round 2, and you can really build a powerful front. And then if you let Jermaine go after this year, you have Zion Young and Bain, 2 physically imposing, run stuffing power edge rushers to build a dominant front with. They're not the fastest guys, but you can go get an off-ball linebacker. When you have those guys that can crash those ends and bum rush those offensive tackles back into the quarterback, you can free up gaps. You can get creative with your blitzes.
Nick,
But
I
you
don't
gotta
think- I
have
don't
the
think-
guys up front that can do it.
I don't think they're taking Bain at 2. I don't.
Why do you say you? Like you're not a Jet fan.
I don't think they are taking.
Oh, I thought you said I don't think you're taking it.
No,
thought you
I
were
don't think
Bobby
the Jets are
talking to me.
taking Bain at 2. I don't.
What do you think?
I think they'll take Reese at 2.
Yeah.
I think the
if
only
Wink's
way
the
they
higher,
could-
I said I don't know if you're watching before. I know you get in your side arguments in the chat, but
Yeah,
I
I do.
said that to Buffalo Jet fan earlier. If Wink's the defensive coordinator, I am a big believer Reese is the pick because with the pressure he likes to bring,
Yes.
Reese would fit his
I
scheme
think Reese
more.
will be the pick at 2.
And he'll believe that he can scheme guys open with blitzes, and Will McDonald's speed will help open up lanes for people to blitz through.
Again, there's always been the belief at 2, do you pick a floor guy or do you pick a guy with a higher ceiling? And that's the thing with Reese. Reese is 20 years old with a really high ceiling.
Yeah.
Sometimes people worry about his floor, but I think he has the best potential of the 3.
I'm not mad at
And-
either.
And I think
I'm
they'll
not
take
mad at either. If it's Bain or Reese, I'm okay. If it's Bailey, why? You got Will McDonald.
I don't think
Like,
they'll take Bailey.
And I don't think I would rather have the physical imposing end, which I think fits what Glenn wants more. But I'm okay if you go Reese. I'm not okay if you go another end besides Bain.
I don't think they'll do this. If they keep 2, 16, and 33, I would triple attack the defense.
Yeah.
And I would draft McDonald at 16 and I would draft Allen at 33 if they keep.
I don't think
30.
Allen's making it out of 1.
I don't think he's getting out of 1, but I mean, I would not
I'll
be
take.
surprised.
You want to
if-
go Hill? All right. I'll take
All
someone
3
trading
might
up
go
to
in the
33, and I'll move back. I'll pick up a 3rd rounder, and then I'll take Hill.
I don't even know. They're saying Hill may not get out of the 1st round either. They said all 3
We'll
of
know
those
more
guys.
with free agency, right? We'll know the teams that need the middle linebackers by the time free agency's over.
I think Styles will either be a Buccaneer or a Cowboy. I think they'll
How about
both-
this? Let me throw a scenario at you.
Sure.
We take 16, and then we take 44, the Cowboy pick, and we trade it back to the Cowboys to move up to 12.
I do not want to trade up. I know. I want to go BPA. I would rather trade back at 33 than trade up at 44. And again, I still think that one of McDonald or Jermaine gets dealt. And I would look at that pick 66 from the Titans again, I would not be surprised if Saleh is going to try to bring in some of his former guys. And I know he's a big fan of Jermaine.
Oh,
And
Bailey is a Saleh wide 9 if I've ever seen it.
I think either
Bailey
Bailey or
is
Bane
the
will be
prototypical
Yeah.
Robert Saleh wide 9. If he made undrafted Huff good, imagine what he'll do with Bailey in a wide 9. Put him on the
I
same
could
side of the field as Jeffrey Simmons and watch those two go nuts.
I could see the Titans drafting Bailey at 4 and trading 66 to the Jets for Jermaine and put him on the opposite side, which would make sense
Jermaine
for
or
them.
Will?
No, I think you're talking about you said Bane. I thought you said Bailey.
Bailey for the Titans. Him as the
Yeah,
wide
if
9.
Bailey goes 4, I think Jermaine is the complement to Bailey. I think Jermaine is the guy who could set the edge. I think Jermaine and Bailey works, while I can see Bane and Will work, because I think Bane is a guy who could set the edge and you could move him inside. I think Bailey is strictly a pass rusher from the outside who needs work on the run, but he's a guy who can get you 12 to 15 stacks. I think Jermaine is the perfect complement because you could play him on the outside. You could set the edge. He's more of that 1B or 2 type of defensive end. So, but again, I would take Reese at 2. If Lemon fell to 16, I would take him at 16. I don't think he'll get to 16. I would take one of the defensive tackles if you stay at that spot, whether it's Banks or McDonald. And again, I would trade 33 down unless one of the 3 linebackers, whether it's Styles, Allen, or he'll get there to 33. I think they would be perfect at 33. Again,
sorry, I was coughing. I put myself on mute. Embelette says can't sell low on Jermaine. I don't think that's selling low coming off the Achilles and coming off of the season that he had. I think that would be a very good deal for the Jets.
66 is perfect. It's a top 3rd round pick where they can find either a replacement
and you'd have 5 of the top 66.
Yes.
That's a really good scenario because now you're going to get hopefully 5 impact players. You can
I just don't see Jermaine on this team next year. I don't
get a guard. You can get your D end. You can get your D tackle. You can get your middle linebacker. You can get a safety. You can get 5 impact players to come in and start. And if you notice, everyone I just said is right up the middle of the field. We got to get better in the middle of the field. Guys on the outside can't do their job unless we're better up the middle.
And finally, we talked about this at the trade deadline. I do wish the Jets took the 4th for Brees. And now it's going to be a mess. I think it's going to be a mess.
Maybe they get a 3rd, and maybe we have 6 of the top 75.
Your 3rd. I don't know. I would have loved to have that 4th. You see, I don't think Brees wants to be here. I think they'll try to franchise him and trade him or transition and trade him. But it's going to get ugly if he is back on this team. I just don't think he wants to come back. And
that's fair.
I just don't think it works anymore. And I had hoped they had traded him at the deadline. Now it's going to get ugly because, if they let him walk for nothing, they'll look like absolute morons. So. But always a pleasure. And again, I know you and I have thought about this. And as much as Jet fans want to kill the Pats for their schedule, and it's been weak, I get it. But the idea that they are 1 game away from going to the Super Bowl is just nuts. It's nuts. It's nuts.
It is.
They were a 4-win team last year, and they're 1 win away from going to the Super Bowl.
They get CJ Stroud in a game where he clearly bet on the Patriots to win. I mean, it's wild. It's nuts. You get the Chargers that have to come to the East Coast without their starting tackles. And then you get CJ Stroud, who looked like it was his first time stepping foot in cold weather. And then you get
Jared Stidham.
What was the name? Hold on. Tanya Harding smashing Nick's ankle after the goddamn game. Like, what the fuck? How can they have that? Like, that luck?
It happens. But you can't say this season as a whole has been lucky. You're 14-3. You're 14-3. I mean, sometimes you get...
Until the playoffs, they beat 1 winning team. It was the easiest schedule in the last 26 years.
But you know what? The same thing. Hold on. Remember when the Jets beat the Colts years ago when they decided to sit Peyton for Curtis Painter when they were undefeated and they got into the playoffs because of that? It's a similar situation where the Jets got lucky to get in the playoffs. It is. Sometimes you get lucky. They have been lucky. They've gotten lucky, but you know what? You're 14-3 in the NFL. And if you go to Denver and a game they should win, I still think Denver can give them problems in that building.
I might just put $100 on the Patriots to fucking jinx them. That's the power that I
would be shocked if an NFC team does not win a Super Bowl this year.
Oh
shocked.
no, it's either Sam Darnold legacy game or it's Matthew Stafford cements his Hall of Fame resume. 2 Super Bowls and he should win the MVP. This is Stafford's Hall of Fame resume will be complete.
I think
and then the Rams can go trade for Joe Burrow and then just not miss a beat and just continue for the next 10 years.
I think it'll be Pats Rams part 3, and the Rams will finally win a Super Bowl. This is their 3rd Super Bowl appearance against each other, and I think the Rams will finally win one. But that's crazy.
Oh, that's right. The Pats have won both.
They beat them both
in that last game against that was
against
Brady.
Goff. That was the worst.
Brady
Super Bowl
against Goff is the lowest rated QBR game on record.
Wasn't it like 12-3 or 13-3 that game or something like that?
And then one of the receivers dropped a touchdown that got through. It was bad. But up to that point, it was the lowest rated combined QBR game in the history of QBR. So Tom Brady's got that record too.
But again,
Alan, appreciate you calling, man. Thank
always
you.
A pleasure, man. Have a good one.
Be good. Ladies and gentlemen, our guest returning. Return of the Mac. You good?
My bad, man. Yeah, I had like the blue screen of updating for like 75 hours and then tried to grab a new. This is why I can't ever do this as my full-time job. Technology ain't my thing. But
pain in the ass.
Yeah, I can't chop it up for much longer, but I just want to pop back on and say that I didn't that was not on purpose.
I disappear. I know you. I saw you trying to get in. That's why I was texting you. I'm like, there's no camera. It was flashing like it was trying to activate.
Yeah, I was trying to get on with my phone. My phone was not allowing that to happen. But yeah, man. Anyway, thanks for having me on. But and did I miss a final question or a topic I could shoot off real quick before I head out?
Give me your predictions for championship weekend.
Oh, sure. Unfortunately, I can't pick Stidham to win. Mile High is weird, and I do think it will be a close game because Denver has a great defense. They have a great coach, and Mile High is a great home field advantage. But I do think the Patriots will win. And then I think Seattle at home, that defense and that special teams is just a different kind of beast. And Stafford has not been great in the playoffs. So Seattle and Patriots rematch. And then I think the Patriots take it. I just think that I felt since like Buffalo was eliminated, I felt that the NFC winner was going to have they'll probably be a touchdown favorite, regardless. So Seahawks over the Patriots, rematch of the Marshawn Lynch not handoff situation.
It's not even awful in Seattle tomorrow. It's 44 with during the day, and that should be a 3:30 start out there, right? They got the 6:30 game, I believe.
Yeah, you do worry about this if Sam Darnold is going to implode at any minute, but I think the way they play defense, man, I don't know. I'm not.
Dude, no wind. I mean, if you're Matthew Stafford, this is the best case scenario. You're going to Seattle. It'll be 44 degrees, sunny with 2-mile-an-hour wind.
Yeah,
like you couldn't script it better for the Rams if you're rooting for the Rams. I'm just rooting for a good game, and just let whoever wins this game go into the Super Bowl healthy. We don't need any press conference injuries like Bo Nix suffered.
Yeah. I mean, I think Stafford hit him pretty good last time they played, but it'll be a good game. It should definitely come down to the last.
Nice. That's a good stat, BC.
Play.
Very good stat. Well, Buffalo, thank you for your efforts to get back on. I appreciate you. For those of you who haven't already, when you get out from under the rock that you live under, go subscribe to Buffalo Jet Fan. Show him all the love. He deserves it. He's one of the great ones. Thank you, buddy.
We'll talk soon, brother. Take care.
Absolutely, man. Be well.
Oh!
Folks, let me check the numbers. We got 85 of you watching here. We have 66 likes. Let's get the likes up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. I'm back after a week off. All super chats, $5 and up. Gifted memberships are doubled and get you on the wheel for Super Bowl Sunday. Programming notes. I will be back tomorrow night at 8 o'clock with Connor Long. Connor will join me. We'll have the game going on in the NFC. We'll know who's the representative for the AFC in the Super Bowl. And then Wednesday at 12:30 p.m., I'll be joined by Matt O'Leary. I had to push Matt back. I had him planned for this Wednesday, but I was not functioning on Wednesday, Thursday, and 3/4 of Friday. So thank you to Matt for being understanding. I texted him yesterday. I didn't turn my computer on since last Sunday night. And I turned the computer on last night, and my notes pop up, and it says 121 Matt O'Leary. I go, oh, shit. I text Matt like 11 o'clock last night. I go, dude, I'm so sorry. I'm like, I was in bed. I was sick the whole week. I'm like, I totally forgot. Please don't hate me. He's like, no, you're good. I'm like, can you run it back this week? You pick a day. He's like, Wednesday works. So, yeah, Matt lined up for Wednesday. And next Sunday, February 1st, we got Gunny. I know a lot of you love when Gunny and I talk ball together. So, trying to give you guys the best guests coming up here for the Jets offseason, which seems to just be news after news after news. Thunderlips, member of the channel for 8 months, said Beast had a BJ behind wall bombs in 1994. I don't know if that's true, but the second I put that up, he left backstage. So, call lines are open. I don't know how much time I have left. We are without Boomtown tonight. He has to be up at 4 a.m. He messaged me during the day. Him and his missus, they do some trade shows for their business on the weekends. So he's on the road early in the morning. So at the end of the show, make sure that you do your part. And again, my exclusive interview with Beetlejuice. Aaron Glenn? Whatever. Let me help you get down. You all right, Aaron?
Yeah,
You tried, right?
I tried.
You did your best, right? That's all that
I
matters.
did my best. We tried.
Maybe next year you come back and try
Maybe
again.
next year. I'll come back and I'll try it next year.
Oh. Hey, who remembers when we were all happy about this happening? And I say that and I play that to say this. It's going to take me a very long time to forgive Chris Banjo for being so good at his job that it cost us Mendoza. That game, the offense was horrific. Kick return, punt return, Jets win. Horrible. Horrible. Absolutely horrible. Oh, Franklin, Beetlejuice is a legend. Beetlejuice is always funny. Beetle, as bad as it gets, and you know he's the man. Love Beetle. Beetle never misses. Beetle is like, oh my God, Martin Short. They always hit. I've never seen Martin Short on camera miss, and I've never seen Beetlejuice miss. Always good comedy. Always good stuff. Oh boy, Clancy taking the chat to that. All right, that's a segue I didn't expect, and I don't. Also, is there video, Clancy? Screen recorded and send that to me. I don't want that in my those websites on my phone. Grease Lightning. We should keep AVT. I don't know, man. Here's why. I'll say this again. AVT is a great leader. AVT is a great member of your locker room. AVT is not guaranteed to be there on Sundays. He's not guaranteed to make it. 3 of his 5 seasons, he hasn't made it past Halloween. One season, he didn't even make it to opening kickoff. I can't do it. I can't. Now, listen, I know we're damned if we do, we're damned if we don't. If we sign him, he'll be injured. If we let him go, he'll go be an all-pro next to Joe Alton in San Diego or the Chargers. That's our luck. I know it. He'll go to the Giants and be an all-pro guard. I know it. But and I'm not worried about that. I'm worried about the guy can't stay healthy. His age, Mays, is not an issue. His talent is not an issue. 60% of his playing time in the NFL has ended before Halloween. I can't do it. How many times you go back to the well before you say, "Oh, this water's got poison in it"? I love AVT. That's the type of guy you need in your locker room. That's the type of guy you want. But you need that guy to show up and do his job, man. You need him to be able to physically hold up the rigors of the NFL season, and he can't do it. And it's been 3 different body parts. Makes you wonder if he was conceived next to the Santa Clara Stadium, the power field. See, Franklin, here's the thing. AVT is talented enough that somebody will give him a decent contract. I don't think the Jets should be that team. And it's nothing against AVT. It's just how many times do you get burned? What are you going to do? Tittman has earned right guard. I think we all agree on that, right? Tittman he deserves to be right guard. I don't want to play games with Tittman. I don't want to move him around. I don't want to toy with that. I think Tittman and Membu were a good combination on the right side. But now you're going to put AVT on the left. You're going to make him change positions again. His body hasn't shown the ability to hold up. I don't know. No, Jack, I'm out on Simpson. And I believe that with that 44th pick, we should draft a guard. Whether it is, I'm looking right now. I'm looking, hold on. You got Emmanuel Pregnon from Oregon. You got Chase Besantis from A&M, who's a big, powerful guard. Connor Lewis, a center. I don't think, Yeah. I mean, Pregnon or Besantis would be guys I would look at 44 and just take the guard and plug them in. And then next year, go get a center. Bring in that center. And then you got Olu and Membu, and you got Tittman and possibly Besantis. And then you got a center, a round 2 center. And go build a dominant line for years to come and have your line in place for your young quarterback. Frankly, I just think that I think somebody will give him a contract that's more than incentive. And I think this year people have said, well, give him a 1-year flyer. I think this year was the 1-year flyer. That's why they took the 5th-year option. And that's why the new regime didn't extend him. Because they were like, hey, you got to prove to us before we give you this money. You got to prove to us that you can be out here week after week after week. And he didn't even make week 1. So if you were on the fence about him not making week 1, it tipped the scales. Shout out to Andrew C., the Dream, for $20 super chat. You're in the Joe Namath Super Bowl Sunday super raffle for 8 entries. I went to a stop on my route the other day, and it reminded me of the time in preseason when Justin Fields dislocated his toe, and everyone was calling into the Asman show, and we had to get a toe guy, Nick Shine, to call in. Yes, I was the toe expert that called in the minute. I was the toe correspondent that day. Very good memory, Dream. Very good memory. Awesome super chat. Thank you, and good luck to you. We got a caller in the back. We got 2 callers in the back. Hold on. One wants to say goodnight. Are you calling to say goodnight, sir?
Yep, I'm gonna do that and then do a little Andrew Dice Clay while I'm sleeping. You know who Andrew Dice Clay is? You know the guy that goes.
Yeah, you going up the hill, each with $1.25.
Before that one, yeah, Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey. Long came a spider, sat down beside her, said, "Hey, what's in the bowl, bitch?"
Joe says, Nick, do you think something escalated internally here where Glenn could get let go in coming days? Is this front office so locked tight that nothing gets leaked? Why are we firing on January 23rd? Joe, great points. Well, I questioned that earlier. I don't understand why it's conference championship week and you're just firing assistants now. It makes me very curious as to what the hell is going on inside the doors of Florham Park. Peter Castro, this sucks. Should have just hired the entire Bills staff. Yeah, I mean, I think McDermott is a guy who can come in to right the ship, but obviously he's not a guy to get you over the top. I don't know, Peter. I don't know, man. It's a it's the Jets, Peter. I don't even know, man. I'm having trouble finding positives to say about this team, and I don't like being negative, but this makes no sense. Why didn't you fire Charles London the first week? We all knew he needed to be fired. Why did you wait 2.5 weeks? Was there something? And here's the only thing that makes me, let me say this. This is just popping into my head now. I believe yesterday was the day that Aaron Glenn got hired last year. Fact check me on that if I'm wrong. I believe yesterday was 1 year from the day Aaron Glenn got hired. Maybe financial structure changes of the coordinators if they get fired after 1 year. So maybe they waited until they hit 1 year and then they could maybe have less of a financial hit firing them. That's the only thing that I can think of why you waited. Because it's kind of funny that they all got released at the same exact time. They didn't tier it. They didn't go one after the other. They waited till the night of the day that Glenn was with the team for a year. So I don't know. Next up, return caller. We got Rich. What's up, buddy?
Hey, what's up, Nick? How you doing,
man? What's on your mind?
Nothing. I'm making some burgers right now, and I saw that you're doing a live show, and I'm frustrated with the team, and I thought I'd just call on, shoot some talk. So I do not feel as good as I used to about this team. I don't really mind when the team is bad because if you get because we don't have a quarterback. If you get the quarterback right, everything changes quickly. But this is not good because these guys need a quarterback really badly, and this is not the draft to need a quarterback and not have the number 1 pick. I can't believe Mendoza's like an inch away from us, and we're not going to get him. And I mean, we don't know who's going to be good and who's not going to be good, but I don't think Simpson. I don't think we're the team to make Simpson good.
I don't think Simpson's
and
a
I
quarterback
don't know
to be good.
what are they gonna do though? Are they gonna not draft a quarter? They need like the regime. Glenn needs a quarterback, so I think he's gonna take one. And I'm worried we're gonna waste those picks. I don't feel good, man.
I don't
feel
think
good.
he'd take one. I am a betting man, and I got to see obviously how free agency plays out and how the trade market plays out. But I believe that they're going to get a veteran in here. Maybe a Mitch Trubisky, a Mariota, somebody who's capable of starting. And then maybe you roll the dice on a Nussmeier. Maybe you trade up or maybe you trade back and you get a 3rd rounder and you go for a Nussmeier or a Klubnik or maybe guys who were expected to be round 1 picks and this season didn't quite go so well. But then that begs the question, right, Rich? Who the fuck's going to coach them? Who's there to develop these guys?
Well, I mean, at least they have a good line. I thought Tanner Engstrand looked good when Tyrod was playing. I mean, I saw guys open a lot, and I feel like I don't know who's going to develop the quarterback. I don't know what it
Yeah.
takes, but like, I think that we have enough supporting cast to give the guy a chance, and a good enough line to give the guy a chance. I don't know why it sounds like they're demoting Engstrand, but I'm 100% with you. I'd be totally fine with Joe Flacco with Trubisky, with Mariota. I don't care. I just don't want to waste the picks. And I would love to draft a Nussmeyer later on, but I don't see the seat is so hot for Glenn. I just can't see how he won't want to spend a first round pick unless Muji gets to make the final say or something and his seat seems less hot. I'm really worried they're gonna take Ty Simpson at 16, and then it's next year. It's like, okay, well, I don't think he's going to be the answer. I think we're going to have to make a play next year. So it really worries me. But I don't think it would have been the right call to fire Glenn right now, because I think next year we'd be completely screwed because we can't one and done and coach 2 years in a row. And who are we going to upgrade to if we fire him right now? You think
Who's going to want to come here?
Yeah,
You know,
I don't
think you got to
there's-
let Glenn go through the shit, and then when we get out of the shit, you look more enticing, right? If you get a guard, a D tackle, a D end, and a linebacker in your first 4 picks, and they hit, all right, now you're looking good in your front 7. Now you can get after the quarterback. Now you're applying pressure where guys on the back end can make plays, and maybe we get 5 interceptions as a team for the season. Not one player, just as a
That's what I
team.
want to do.
So build your trenches up where you can be dominant up front, and you can run the ball more, and you can create a pocket for the quarterback to throw in. And if you get a good veteran quarterback and you get a good passing scheme devised, then you can have some fun. Then you can maybe win a couple games. And then when a potential coach looks at this roster, they say, you know what? That offensive line looks dominant. That front 7 is rebuilt. Of course, we got 3 first-round picks in 27. We can add the quarterback. We can add another skill player. We can add another pass rusher. We can turn this team around quickly. So
hopefully, but I don't. The issue is I don't think Glenn is gonna feel like he has that time. So I'm with you on what you would like to see happen. That's what I want to see happen. That's what I hope to see happen. Hopefully, we draft the quarterback late second. I would sign up for a late second quarterback so that we're not wasting a first round pick on a quarterback, because this isn't the right class. And I think if Dante Moore entered the draft, I think you could have a legitimate conversation about firing Glenn and believing you can upgrade him if you don't like him. I don't think it's fair to judge him off this year, but the state of the franchise right now, where they're at, it looks like such a mess that the people that want him gone, I respect it more than I did before. But there's no quarterback. Nobody is going to want to come here. And if you fired him this year, next year, I don't think you're going to be in a better position, because I think you're going to have another bad coach, and you're going to want to move on from that coach likely to get a better coach, because you're probably going to have a better opportunity to draft quarterback. Anyway, none of it matters. We also don't even know if we're going to be able to trade up to get a quarterback next year, because there might be 3 teams at the top of the draft that need quarterbacks. So it's just really scary, man. It's really scary. There's some good players to be had this draft. I don't think we'll take a quarterback at 2. I think we have a chance to improve our team a lot, but I'm really worried about the DC stuff and wasting picks. And it just sucks, man. It just sucks.
It really, really does.
Yeah, for real.
It does. And the thing that bothers me the most is there's more questions than answers. You're supposed to get answers, right? You're supposed
There's
to
no answers.
progress. And it's like, no, man, we're not only back at square one, we're at square -10, because everyone I hired failed. And now I got to try to change everything and change the scheme. And we're guessing about what our schemes are going to be in year 2 instead of building upon them.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. Well, I don't have much else to say. I'm just sad. I would love to draft Arvell Reese or trade back and take Devin Bailey or Dion Bailey. I forgot his first name, but I'd be
David,
in
I
that
think.
camp.
I think it's
David
David.
Bailey. I think he'll be really. He looks like he'd be really good and cool. So those are my guys that I'd like in the first. I think we can have a nice draft. I just really hope they don't waste a first round pick on a quarterback that isn't worth it. And just to the fans that want Glenn gone, totally respect it. But like, nobody wants to go to the Cardinals right now, who are less of a dumpster fire than the Jets. Why do we think that if we fired him this year, we would actually be better off? I would much rather wait until there's a good quarterback class with quarterbacks available, where we have a
Yeah.
pick or hopefully or a chance to get a good quarterback, because that's how you become the Buccaneers. That's how you become the Bears, when you have the chance, when you already have the quarterback, you have the chance to get him. So
Yeah.
just, yeah, we'll see. Whatever.
You got two options, right? Build your roster and then bring the quarterback in, or bring the quarterback and then hope you can build the roster before he flops. We're going to have to build the roster first and then bring the quarterback in as the final piece of the puzzle.
I hope that's what we do, man. I really hope that's what we do.
Agree. Enjoy the burgers.
Roger that. Thanks for having me. Good talk.
Be good, man.
Take
Talk
care,
to you
brother.
soon. Shout out to Rich. Good caller. Jay Quest says, give me a real quarterback coach. Well, here's the problem. And I agree with you. Like, none of us like Charles London. He was converted running backs coach. But if you're a real quarterback coach, why are you coming here? If you're a proven quarterback coach and Aaron Glenn calls you right now, you take the call and you go, who's the quarterback? Oh, we don't know. Who do you think the quarterback's going to be? Oh, we don't know. Are you drafting one? Oh, we doubt it. Are you going to bring a 30-year-old retread? Like, who am I going to be coaching? Why should I take this job? Are you going to be there year two? Why am I going to commit to you if we don't know the plan? There's too many questions surrounding the Jets and not enough answers. That's what sucks, man. That's what sucks. Jets Worldwide. Go subscribe to Jets Worldwide if you haven't already. The Wink Talk is speculation, not fact yet. Agreed. Agreed. And I just think that when there's smoke, there's fire. And if you're bringing them in, you need a little bit of fire this weekend in New Jersey. It's bitter cold out there. I'll give you guys a little weather report from New Jersey right now here. We got weather on the 8s, even though it's a 5. Oh, that's Seattle. It's like 37. Fucking warmed up here, baby. Where are we? Let's go home. This is not going as smoothly as I thought it would, because it saved my location in Seattle from earlier. 15 degrees, feels like 5. Looking at the radar, the storm is in lower or all of Virginia, and it's on its way here. Should be here about 5 in the morning, right when Clancy's going to sleep. The storm will hit. Clancy will wake up and there'll be a foot of snow. Yeah, Clancy, this is a great point. I do like Muji. I do like what he's done. But I said this in October. The worst case scenario would be a 1 quarterback draft and drafting a 2. Fuck. All right, Infrared. Why are you doing your impersonation of my wife when I was married? Sorry, honey. Those ladies are talented dancers. They deserve it. Yes, I did say that at one point. No, we're not getting joining bank accounts. I'll give you money you need for the bills. Sorry, Knob. You're right. You're right. I will speak this into existence. Got a fantastic text from Lou B today. Ocean Casino in Atlantic City is putting together draft festivities for Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So for those of you who plan on coming to the second Shiner Draft Weekend, looks like we can have a really good time down in Atlantic City this year. So if you're interested, if you're not in my Discord and you are interested and you're like, hey, you know what? Heading down to Atlantic City with the boys and some girls sounds like a lot of fun. That's my email right there. Reach out to me and I'll include you in any of the plans going forward. Lou B runs the club down there. He's a party promoter, planner. He's going to get us a real nice setup. Saturday night, we'll be at H2O is the club. I don't know. I'm 47. I don't drink. I don't know clubs. But Lou's going to get us hooked up real nice on Saturday night there. So dress to impress on Saturday night, NFL Draft Weekend. After the Jets own the draft, we will own the dance floor. Maybe not. I don't know. It sounded good, right? I believed it when I said it, and that's what matters most in this world. Believe in yourself. We'll do the 9-toe shuffle, baby, baby. And if Gator's watching, that video is going to get made. Of course, you have all of your choices. You'll have many to choose from, Knob. I promise you. It'll be a buffet platter of all different nationalities. But folks, we're getting ready to wind down the show here. Super chats, $5 and up. Gifted memberships. Let's see if we can get a few more memberships. Shout out to Leany and Adirondack Fly Guy today for gifting theirs. I do a little Roger Rabbit. I used to be able to do the worm. I might be able to do the worm again. I'd have to work on that, but I haven't done it in a while. I'd probably pull like a hamstring or something doing the kicks, but the worm used to be my thing back in the day. They do. They do. And now they have the stabilizing cameras too. You don't even have like the handheld one shaking anymore. Oh. Yeah, Jerome. Don't let go of the rope. How about Aaron Glenn? You untie the rope from the dock so the ship can get out in the water and start the turn. That would be nice. We're still tied to the pier. Can you get the ship out in the goddamn water? Let's see what we got on Twitter here. Connor Hughes is saying send Jets and Giants question. Mike LaFleur, believed to be the front runner for the job in Arizona as the offensive coordinator. Connor Hughes said earlier, if the Jets were to hire a new offensive coordinator, they'd need to go through the Rooney Rule requirements. NFL teams are now required to interview at least 2 minority candidates for offensive coordinator, D coordinator, special teams, in addition to head coach and GM. So this isn't something where the Jets could just hire someone for that role. Consultant who play calls is a different story. I don't know why you would bring in a consultant and let them play call. So Tanner Angstrand would still be your offensive coordinator, but then another guy would call the plays. It just seems like a shit show. And it seems like the Jets said, hey, Buffalo Bills, we'll take your owner being stupid this week and we'll top that. Watch what we do. Oh, help me. Help us all. Let's just hope the draft picks hit and this team looks more enticing to a credible head coach in the future. That's the best thing we can hope for right now. We know we don't have a quarterback. We know we're not going to win a ton next year. Let's just hope that all of these draft picks hit. If it's Reese or Bain, become all pros. At 16, you hope Styles, Tyson, maybe McDonald, the D tackle, Peter Woods, maybe. Let's just hope that they become dominant and we can just control the trenches and we can look at this football team and say, we're not getting pushed around anymore. We're competitive in every game. We get to the quarterback. We get third down stops. We're getting turnovers again. We get sack fumbles. We just need a quarterback for this offense. And then you hope the Colts are just as bad as us because they have quarterback questions. And then you have multiple picks in the top 10 next year where you could go get an elite quarterback. You could go get an elite receiver. You can go get an elite pass rusher like Simmons from Texas. You got options. You know you need the quarterback. It's just a matter of what other elite playmaker you can get. I know it's a long way away, but 16 months ago, we had Aaron Rodgers starting for us, and we thought we had the world in the palm of our hands. We had nothing. Nothing. There's nothing there. Nothing up our sleeve. No wins. No running game. So just think. Opening day in San Francisco 16 months ago. It flew by. 16 months from now, we'll be drafting our quarterback of the future. Beat the Jets. Beat the Jets. Everyone can beat the Jets. I sing that song about the Mets, so I thought it was fitting that we added here. But folks, we've come down to the end of the show. I appreciate all of you for being here. I'm going to gift the membership. Let's see if we get any more going on the way out. Mine went to who dat, fam? 25. All right. And like I said earlier, we are without Boomtown tonight. So I kick it to you, chat. Here.
Now let's go to What Did We Learn Today? Courtesy of Nick Shine.
I learned that you guys are awesome and that you guys show me a lot of love. I appreciate all of you. Thank you for being here. For those of you that are in the Discord, appreciate you reaching out, text messages throughout the week. I know I'm very vocal and involved in the Discord, social media, and when I dip away, a lot of you reach out to me, and that means a lot to me. A lot of you have become like family, and I appreciate that. So thank you. MC Mays, the Mets had a good week. That's why I love Clancy. Because when it comes to baseball, I don't even have to talk shit. Clancy does it for me. Raise the banner. Knobcraft learned that there will be interesting workers in Atlantic City. Greg Rollo, we learned that Beast thinks fat is muscle. Jets Worldwide, I learned Boom is sadly missed. And this is Boom's intro. For those of you that missed it last weekend, we'll play it again here now.
Hey there, Shiners, you made it to the end. It's time to ask the question, cause Nick's gotta know. Canada's taking names. Boomtown always delivers. Let's find out now. What did we learn today?
I'm a little bit country. I'm a little bit rock and roll. Ah, old dirty bastard. Legend. All right, folks. Get your last What Did We Learn in. Hit the like button if you haven't already. We want to get to 100 for every live show, especially on the weekends. I know during the weekdays it's a little rougher, but I appreciate you. If you're popping in after the fact and you made it this long, thank you. Love you. You're the best. Those of you who watch the show after the fact are just as important. So please hit the like button, share it on your social medias. If you're talking, I've been on the phone with people and people see me out. Oh, you're a Jet fan? I go, yeah. You watch any YouTube shows? They're like, yeah, I watch it. I go, how about mine? Give me your phone. Bloop, bloop, bloop. Here you go. Oh, shit. Really? Happened the other day in CVS when I was picking up my medicine. Shout out to the new subscribers from CVS in Woodbridge if you were watching the show tonight. Thank you, big fella. I learned it's great to have Nick Shine back. I learned it's great when my twin is in the chat. Clancy, I learned Beast is having steak, eggs, and bacon tomorrow with a fresh bagel. I picked up chicken breast, vegetables. I got a 6-pack of Tim Hortons maple. 6-pack, 12 packs, I should say. So we got 72 K-cups of Tim Hortons maple that got delivered to the house today. It was $41 for the 6 12-packs instead of paying $9.49 at ShopRite. So I was like, okay, time to load up. I ordered tea bags and honey and a ski mask because I got to do snow removal starting 10 a.m. Monday morning. And then I get the ski mask, which was like $13.99, and it was like $12 more, and then you can get it shipped today. It'll be at the house. This was Friday night, so today for between 4 and 8 in the morning. And I'm like, all right, I'll get tea bags and I'll get honey for my throat because it still bothers me. And I order it. And then this morning, I get the ski mask. I get the honey. I get my strawberry icebreaker mints because I had to get an 8-pack of those for $17. That was a deal. And then it says the tea bags won't be here till Wednesday. So I got a fucking thing of honey without any goddamn tea bags till Wednesday. So defeated the entire purpose. Screw you, Amazon, and your trickster shiesty ways. Knob, I made a pot of sumo stew tonight and ate like Yokozuna. MC Mays, I learned a half-well Nick Shine is still better than others at full strength. Wear the glaze. I wear it proudly. Thank you, Mays. I appreciate you, buddy. God damn it. Clancy did not. I learned that Clancy was part of the basic white bitch army. Did you wear leggings and Uggs too while drinking your pumpkin spice, bro? My God, Clancy, I got to introduce you to my mother. You guys would be best friends. All right. Very well done. I learned that Snowball comes in at the end with the comment of the night. Ladies and gentlemen, hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not already. Shout out to the, how many more? Where did you go? To the 3 of you who joined the show today. Appreciate it. Hopefully we get some more after the fact. But ladies and gentlemen, we'll see you tomorrow night, 8 p.m. I'll be on. Connor Long will be with me. We'll take your calls. We'll bitch about who's in the Super Bowl, more than likely from the AFC, and we'll root heavily for the NFC to go and defeat them. So, ladies and gentlemen, have a great night. What did you just send me? Who are these 3? Knob, what am I looking at here? You can't send me that. You have to give me context if you send me a picture like this, bro. All right. I'm out, everyone. Have a great night. Stay warm. Good luck with the storm. Didn't need for that to rhyme, but I do it all the time. God bless. Go Jets. Oh, the midget. Okay. Chica Chicana. Turn it up for Blitz BK. Baby, baby. Pew, pew.
It's got me.
Gentry covering the bumble.
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine Show. Dim the lights, but it's still bright as Nick time. Day or night, this is his promise, Nick Shine. Proud fan, well defined, so get in line. Toe to toe with any show, he only got 9. The best show on YouTube, bro, is easy. We talk Jets all day, please believe me. Subscribe, you just gotta click a family. We not a click in 3D. You can see a beautiful DP. We see through the fake teams and the tea leaves. So we pray for a coach and a QB and hope that we close to the top in the new league. A toast to the host with the most, Nicky.
Who, me?
Any day, any night, we all shine, bro. First class shine time, the Nick Shine Show. Anytime on YouTube, if you don't know, the Nick Shine Show, the Nick Shine